Podcast Studios. This is After 9 with Scott and Kat.
Oh, hi, friends. The podcast is now starting, which you know because you're listening. It's Kat and Dave. Hi, Dave.
Hello.
There's a couple of things on our list of stuff to talk about, and we will get to that, by the way. Are we going to talk about the GST stuff here, or just on the show tomorrow?
Sure, we can talk about it here. Yeah.
Because I think you're right, by the way, because you mentioned on the show that you think retailers might be confused. By the way, it wouldn't be the first time that the government came out with something and the people who were actually involved in the situation, and I'm thinking about those in ECE, were extremely confused and weren't sure how this was going to work. So for me, it's kind of reminiscent of the usual, the same old, same old.
So let me just break it down like this then. GST and PST will be paused on certain purchases until February 15th. This will cover prepared foods, including vegetable trays, pre-made meals and salads, and sandwiches. Some prepared food is already exempt from HST. And that will continue to be the case.
And that's the thing with some groceries are already exempt as well, which is why some groceries aren't considered on the list. It's because they already are exempt. So these are more like when you walk in, there's those like egg sandwiches and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. Restaurant meals, dine-in, takeout, or delivery doesn't matter. Those will be exempt from the HST. Snacks like chips, candy, granola bars, things like that. Beer, wine, cider, premixed alcoholic beverages. Anything below 7% alcohol by volume.
Okay.
So anything under that.
Sure, right. You know what really...
There's more, by the way, but go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you know what pissed me off about the some of the pre-made stuff that you mentioned in the grocery store? So somebody took a picture. I can't confirm or deny whether it was real because I did not take said picture, but they shared a photo of the moment that the store employees put the price up by $1.
Oh.
So those things were $7, for example, those pre-made veggie trays or whatever they were, and they were already marking it up $1 because of the tax exemptions.
Come on.
I can't confirm that actually happened, but I did see photos of what looks like that happening.
So greasy.
Isn't that greasy? It's rude.
Well, here's some other things that are on the list. Maybe you don't want to go get your egg salad sandwich.
That's what I think of first when you say that, by the way. I just think of like the veggie trays and then the weird sandwiches or the ham wraps.
Yes. Yeah.
like who made that wrap and what's in it? I don't know.
This super long sandwich with no condiments on it, whatever.
It's weird. I know.
So we also have children's clothing, footwear, car seats, diapers. Kids' clothes are already exempt from the HST if it's for a kid under 15. Children's toys, board games, dolls, video game consoles, books, print newspapers, and puzzles for all ages. And the last part that they list is Christmas trees, both real and fake.
Okay.
All making the list of things that will be exempt from the HST when it goes into effect on Saturday, and then that will go until February 15th.
I guess some people are buying their Christmas tree now, but like a lot of them already did. So I feel like it's like thanks, but it's just kind of some of it's kind of weird to me.
I don't know. Some people are normal and they put up their Christmas tree on December 20th. Kat.
No, that's not normal.
You put it up on October 20th.
That's not my kind of normal. I'll tell you that much. I wanted to get to this. Everybody's doing their like end of year lists right now. You guys have probably seen them on your timelines, heard people talk about it. People are sharing their like Spotify rap. And by all means, thank you so much to everybody who's tagged us as this being your top podcast or in the top 3 or whatever. Hey, we appreciate you. There's also one brought to you by Pornhub. Their year in review is here, Dave.
All right. What are they reviewing?
I don't know. They're reviewing a couple of things, including like the most popular time of the year or day, and week, I should say, that people use it, the site.
Yeah.
Use it in whatever way. I don't know. I want to say like just use it. You know what I mean?
Is there a time
they specify exactly a time. They say it is exactly a Monday at midnight.
Is that like Sunday going into Monday?
I don't know.
Or Monday going into
Tuesday?
Tuesday?
Around midnight on Mondays.
I would think that it
so
makes sense.
So would that be Monday night?
I would say it's a start the week kind of deal.
It's a...
Yeah, you got to, clean the pipes out. Make sure you're good to start the week. No. That's what I think.
But then, interestingly enough, the least popular is 5 a.m. Tuesdays, which would line up with that because you've already emptied.
That's right. Yeah. If that's what the math is on that, if it's like late night Monday night or if it's late night Sunday night, then Tuesday morning you're like, I'm too tired for that.
Oh
makes
my
sense.
God. Okay, the other numbers that they list here, the average online session. I'm just going to go with online session. How long do you think it lasted? How long do you think people were logged in?
Oh, on average?
On average.
I don't know, 10 minutes?
10 minutes, 37 seconds.
I meant to say 41 minutes. I have no idea. I'm very wrong
You're
about
really
all this.
bang on a lot of this, Dave.
Did I take the study?
By the way, you guys all need to know this information. I don't care if you watch porn or don't. That's none of my business. But what you should know is over 90% of the porn was watched on phones this year.
Yeah.
This is why you don't touch anyone's phone. Don't touch a phone.
Why? What do you think's on the phone?
Jizz.
Ew.
It's just riddled with jizz in the cracks of the phone. Yes, you can probably scrape it off with a knife.
All right, I'm leaving. Oh, it's the fastest you've got me out of this room ever.
Well, you asked. No, but
I
for
regret
real,
it, to be honest.
For real, people take the phone into the bathroom with them, though. Like in general, like to go pee-pee. So like in general, we shouldn't be touching other people's phones anyway, right? But now you know, though, yes, people do use their phone the most, a lot for this. And there's a couple other numbers on here, but those are really the highlights. Are you interested in the top categories people searched for?
Yeah. Give me the top 3. I want to hear those ones.
Okay. Japanese.
Okay.
We got to be worldly. MILF. That's a classic.
I guess.
And mature.
Okay. I don't know how mature we get.
I think that's an H. Like, I think they're looking for, I think. Other ones were lesbian, included actually in the top 4. I'll give you the top 4. Why not? They're wives searched for in general, just wives. I don't know if they want, I don't know what they expected when they're just like wives.
I wonder if people are typing in like my friend's wife. I don't think it works like that.
Cheating coworker. The Olympics.
Huh?
Cartoons. I think anime porn.
Okay.
That's got to be on there, I assume, somewhere. And Hawktua.
Hawktua?
Of course.
Oh, yeah, Hawktua, yeah.
There you go. Now you know. Pornhub's end of year list is here. Don't touch a phone. Well, anyway, don't touch a phone.
Or anyone else's hand.
Or a hand. Don't touch the wall.
Don't touch anything.
Don't touch a door.
Ever.
Like, don't touch anything at all. Doug Ford is in the news. And the reason being, did you hear what he said, by the way, about there was his response to President-elect Donald Trump's tariff plan for Canadian imports?
Yeah.
Now, listen, I don't even know if Doug Ford has this kind of power, to be honest with you.
He's swinging.
But he's making headlines. You got to give him that. Here is what Doug Ford had to say recently when asked about what he'd do.
To the full extent, depending on how far this goes, we will go to the extent of cutting off their energy, going down to Michigan, going down to New York State, and over to Wisconsin. I don't want this to happen, but my number one job is to protect Ontarians and Canadians as a whole, since we're the largest province. We will go to the full extent.
There you go. So he's threatening to cut off the energy supply to the U.S. Can he do that?
I don't know. Can you just shut the switch off? Like, can you just go like flick a breaker and it's over?
Well,
like, they don't get anything?
I mean, the truth is we do supply a lot of energy, and that's based on, I know in like the Niagara Falls area, that Hamilton stretch, there's a lot of different areas there. I'm not privy to a lot of the other ones in Ontario as a whole. I don't know if you are. But in that stretch, I know we have a ton that it's on our side of the border. It's us controlling however we do supply to the U.S.
Okay. Well,
but can he do that? I don't know what the answer is there. I'm not sure.
See, President-elect Trump named the Time Magazine Person of the Year.
Was he named it?
Yeah.
Did they just name it? Well, okay.
That makes sense. I mean, as far as newsmakers are concerned, it doesn't mean like it's the coolest
best
guy
person
in the room or anything like that. It's just it's a news. And the news cycle has once again, and another year goes by, and it's revolved around him entirely.
Yeah. And you know what? And it's true. It has involved around him, whether you like him or hate him. And that's the thing with people that dislike someone like Donald Trump. It goes back to when we've had conversations before about making that your personality and making that who you are.
Yeah.
When you give that much energy to someone or something, you can't be surprised when that someone or something gets a recognition of some sorts for this. In his mind, he's going to see it as a positive.
Oh, of course.
In other people, if you don't like him, you're going to see it as a negative. Like, yeah, that's because nobody likes him, but he got elected falsely, or whatever your thought process is on it. But
by the way, can I throw this out there? His BFF, Elon Musk, got a wax statue at Madame Tussauds.
Oh, yes.
And it might be the best wax statue I've ever seen in my life. It looks exactly like it. Like, if you had told me that was a picture of him, I would have 100% believed you. It's maybe the best wax figure I've ever seen. Pull it up. Look at it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, does that not look like it's him? Like, everything about that is him.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen some bad ones. There's some, like the Dwayne Johnson one is terrible.
Oh, there's some awful ones.
There's
out
like
there.
a Bruno Mars one that was really bad a few years ago, but this is like, yeah, they've cloned Musk. That's him.
Well, you know what the thing with Elon Musk is his face doesn't change too much.
From happy to sad.
He's very like, I don't know if I want to say like stoic individual. Like he smiles and stuff by all means. But at the same time, it's like his face is kind of just stays the same.
It's just there.
because it's just kind of, I could see him being a bit of an easier one for Madame Tussauds, whereas sometimes it's hard to get someone's face. I mean, I don't know. I can't do it, so I'm not going to judge other people, but you're right. Some of them are fucking trash. Have you ever been to the one in Niagara Falls?
I think so, yeah.
There's a couple different wax museums. The one I went to was their Miley Cyrus. You couldn't, unless it had a sign that said Miley Cyrus, I would have had no idea. It was awful. And I don't think it was Madame Tussauds, to be perfectly fair. It was like some wax museum, and some of the wax figures had been sitting there for years.
I don't know what the industry is like for wax museums, but I imagine it's Madame Tussauds, and then in a very distant second, it's like Jeff's Wax Emporium.
Well, here you go. I can tell you what it is. It's the Movie Land one.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Movie Land Wax Museum. Guys, it's awful. Okay, and I'm every now and again, they'll change out the one that's at the front of the display. Do you go to Niagara Falls often?
Not terribly often.
I go every year with my kids because the kids love it, right? They love Clifton Hill and they like they like all the things, and they do have some good stuff there now. By the way, if you haven't been in a long time and you're thinking it's all the old shit, there's like a new 3D zombie ride that's cool at the top of the hill. That's where you want to be. There's a bunch of new rides up there. Anyway,
I miss the WWE store that was there.
yeah,
The longest time
it's
they
not
had
there anymore.
No, they had a ride on it too. It was like
Yes.
kind of like a drop zone style of ride. I
Yeah.
think they called it the Pile Driver.
It was right beside the Rainforest Cafe, right?
Yes,
I know
it was.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's sad. They don't have a lot of wrestling stores anymore. I don't think they used to. But anyway, Movie Land is not good inside. But what they do is they put the good stuff on the outside.
Yeah.
Like they purposely put, when we were there in the summer, they purposely put Taylor Swift out front, and she
Yeah.
was like, okay. But then you go in there and you're like,
Who are these
is that who? Like, who is that? Is that David Spade? And no, it's Celine Dion. Like, it's
Oh,
really
no.
like bad. Like,
that's
it's
bad.
awful. So keep in mind, yeah. I think the other one is Louis Tussauds Waxworks. I don't even know who Louis Tussauds is. I assume there's a relation there, but that one might be okay. So I
Some
don't want to.
disgraced cousin of the Tussauds.
You're gonna make it out of wax. I'm gonna make it out of wax. Should we end this off with the competition that we just learned about recently?
Oh, sure. Yeah, let's do that.
So I had no idea this was a thing, but I was absolutely delighted to learn of. First of all, we have a champion here in Canada, a newly crowned champion. And this particular competition was one I was not familiar with. This is the Microsoft Excel World Championships in
Wow.
Las Vegas. 3 years straight, there's a man named Andrew, the Annihilator Nagai, who has been crowned the number one, the champion of Excel. Now, first and foremost, are you good at Excel? Because I'm not.
No.
I can copy and paste.
Yeah, I'm okay at it. I'm not great at it. I can use it. I can function. But if you were to ask me, like, oh, what's the shortcut for this and what's the code for that, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you any of the numeric values.
It's incredible.
Anything that goes into
my
it.
husband's really good at it. So if I have to when I do like my tax stuff at the end of the year, I'm like, can you add all this category up and put it over here? And he's like, yeah, that's easy.
Add all this category up.
And put it over there. Like I want it this total, I want it over there. And he's like, that's easy. You know, like to him, it's like nothing. Some people are like that. This is beyond, by the way. You can play games. You could do anything. But Andrew, the Annihilator, no longer the champion because a newly crowned champ came into play this week, a Canadian. A Canadian has won, and his name is Michael Jarman of Toronto.
Michael is a hero to all of us.
He's a hero to everybody. And we also learned that there's a theme song.
Oh, and this is why I'm so into this competition. It has nothing to do with the competition because, I'll be honest, I don't see the fun in Microsoft Excel, but people there seem to do it. They had a 7.5 hour stream.
Do you think they get drunk in the crowd? Like, I'm just wondering what that crowd, because they don't pay into the crowd much. But there's a crowd.
You have to be.
You have to be hammered. It's like watching darts. Like, no one wants to watch darts unless they're smashed.
No, we're going to disagree on that.
You like watching darts?
I would love to go to one of those big English dart tournaments where they're sitting. It looks like Oktoberfest. There's all these gigantic like banquet tables.
Yeah, but
People
they're
in
all
costume.
drunk is my point, aren't they?
Yeah, but it looks like the most fun.
That's what I mean. You have to be drinking in order for it to be fun. If it was just a guy shooting darts, it's like you might as well just do that in your basement. You have to have like an atmosphere in like a bar and a club. That's the point.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So is this the same thing?
No.
It should be.
It's a gigantic venue and these huge screens, and it's literally just Microsoft Excel. It may be the most boring program on the planet, you'd think, but then apparently there's games and all kinds of wild things you could play.
I had no idea there was games on there.
Do you want to hear the theme song? Because this is what's inspired me.
Yes.
Here you go.
It's the Excel World Championship. Who's going to win? It's the Excel World Championship. Who's going in the spreadsheet bin?
Wow. That is epic.
So good. It's the Excel World Championship. This guy, by the way, that won, this Canadian I speak of, is a Toronto financial modeling director.
Yeah, he is.
Makes sense, right? And the way they do it, if you guys have seen Twitch streams before, so people watching people play video games, it's a strange concept if you didn't grow up in it, I think. Like, and grow up in that world of video gaming and watch people playing video gaming. But it's by all means fun and very popular. There's some Twitch streamers that are multi-millionaires. This looks the same to me, except they're playing around in Excel.
Oh, none of this, like, at
so
no
funny.
point when I was watching this did I ever go, oh, that's a bold move, or, wow, I can't believe he did that. The whole time I was confused. The entire time.
Same. I can't tell you what this guy's doing here as I watch this highlight clip here. But he did win $5,000 US, by the way, which is 7,000 Canadian dollars. Not a bad time in Vegas. And in case you're wondering what he looks like, because like me, maybe you were trying to figure out, okay, how nerdy is this guy? No, he seems like a totally cool guy. Like, he just seems like a regular guy.
Okay.
Not like, hey, I spend my nights on Excel.
What'd you get up to this weekend? Well, I was coding.
And by the way, those are the people that are the richest. So
they sure are.
We have nothing to say about it.
We got a great text from somebody about this competition, and I had to show my respect to the people because the comment was about IT people and the fact that they are the ones who do so much work with Excel and get us set up and make sure things are working and everything. And I went, you know what? You're right. I trust people who have that skill because I do not.
Yep.
I have to trust them.
Same here. And I'm always like, hands up, you do your thing kind of thing. Because I can't even.
Yeah. No
I can't
kidding.
even.
No
I was
kidding.
like, you do it, take over. That's it for us. Got to be a quick one because we are actually broadcasting live. We should mention actually that we're going to be live on location in London. So if you're listening from London and you happen to have time, we're doing the Toys for Tweens toy drive. And we're going to be live from the Delta London Armories. We're going to be there from 2 to 6 p.m., but they're there all day long, our friends at 103.1 Fresh Radio. And this is specifically, we are looking for toys for tweens because that's a category that often gets overlooked. So if you can come out and say hello, we'd love to see you. There's not going to be a pod tomorrow because we do have other stuff on the go, but we will be back to chat with you next week, guys. Bye-bye.